Hello and welcome back to Master Debating. I'm your host, Kylie Schultz. Today we are debating the age-old question, is Coke or Pepsi the better choice? In the studio we're joined by Carly Kruger, who is a Coke fan, and Sam Gross, who is Team Pepsi. So let's get into it. Carly, so you're Team Coke. Can you explain what that means to you and what you think that means to society?
Absolutely. Coke is one of my favorite drinks. I think when you think of soda, the first thing that pops into your head is like the image of the Coke bottle. It's so classic, it's timeless, it's delicious, it comes in all different varieties, Coke Zero, Diet Coke, a very popular one. And I just love Coke, and it's definitely elite to Pepsi.
You love Coke?
I do.
Interesting.
All right, Sam, do you mind sharing your point of view with Pepsi and what that means to the Pepsi community?
Yeah, I just feel like Pepsi is the way to go. Pepsi, it's cheaper. Blue is just a better color. It's, you know,
Debatable.
the Pepsi halftime show, iconic. You can't beat that. There's no Coke halftime show. There's no people supporting drugs during the halftime show. It's the Pepsi halftime show.
It's interesting you talk about halftime show, bringing things to football, Super Bowl, because you know something really interesting. The Kylie Jenner Pepsi commercial, I'm sure you remember that. That was a bad time in history for Pepsi. You know, there was no recovering from that. And you can't say that was an issue for Coke. Coke had a 2014 Super Bowl commercial representing diversity. Clearly, Coke is for the people. Pepsi, maybe not so much.
Well, I would say the Pepsi bounced back from that pretty hard if people keep buying Pepsi products, and this Pepsi's halftime show is still happening. It is probably the biggest reason that people know Pepsi right now.
The biggest reason is because they had to sponsor the halftime show.
Yes, let's keep talking about this. Sam, speaking of social media trends within Coke and Pepsi, what have you seen on the Pepsi side?
Well, I mean, Pepsi used to not be as big of a soda as Coca-Cola was, but Pepsi broke into the market by doing a blind taste test between Pepsi and Coke, and it was abundantly clear that the people liked Pepsi way more. It was just unbeatable. People kept picking Pepsi over and over again because the flavor is so amazing, and you can't get that in Coke products.
Well, something worth noting is perhaps the reason people picked that when they were blindfolded is because Pepsi does have more sugar in it, which is unfortunate if you're going to go with Coke, especially, you know, for the younger generations who are drinking
Diet
soda
Pepsi with
more.
lime, unbeatable. You
But
can't
if you're
get that
going to
anywhere
drink
else.
a classic soda, you might as well pick the better option that tastes better, that has less sugar in it, which is Coke. And there's also lots of other varieties. Like I said, Diet Coke has really become a classic.
Yes,
you're talking
Carly.
about
And well,
varieties,
speaking
everyone
on
loves a classic
flavor
Diet Coke.
of the sodas, Sam, what would you say about the comment that Pepsi is more citrus and has an acidic flavor?
I think that's great. Personally, I'm a big citrus fan, and also just talking about flavors. I mean, Pepsi owns so many other brands like Mountain Dew, which it has so many other flavors. They have Taco Bell.
Why would you want any Pepsi product? I know that when I go to a restaurant and say, hey, can I get a Coke? And they say, oh, we have Pepsi. Is that okay? I'm getting a water.
And I would love to take this in a different direction right now, because as the holiday season is approaching, we've seen a lot of Christmas advertising with Coke. Carly, can you go on about that?
Absolutely. I mean, Coke obviously has the red logo, so it's a classic, you know, Christmas vibe. Holiday season, everyone wants a Coke. The glass bottles, what a lovely stocking stuffer. I mean, everyone loves a bottle of Coke, and I definitely would be disappointed if I received a blue Pepsi bottle in my stocking.
Well, Pepsi respects all religions and not just Christmas. I mean, like, you know, why would it just be a stocking stuffer? Why can't it be anything else? I don't understand why.
Speaking
it has to
on
be
the
red at
holidays
Christmas.
with Pepsi, Pepsi is known to represent a younger crowd. Would you say that that is a good gift-giving present for parents to their children?
Absolutely. I think that that it's fantastic, and I would be so happy.
Do we really want to provide the more sugary soda to the children?
Do you want to provide Coke products to children and let them know more about Coke's history
If
with
I'm going
drugs?
to introduce the Coke history with drugs, they have clearly moved on from that, as there is no Coke.
So we moved on from our commercial with Kylie Jenner.
Have we? Because the Coke, that was ancient history. Unfortunately, that Kendall Jenner commercial was pretty recent.
Speaking of commercials and just popularity worldwide, we've seen Coke bottles, popularity throughout all different countries. What have we seen with Pepsi like that? Do you have something to say?
Pepsi is America's soda. Pepsi is the go-to for Americans. That's all I can say. With the people's choice of America.
Is it really?
They just go to Pepsi.
I feel when you see a Coke bottle, that is 4th of July. That is America. The glass bottle.
I'm not just saying directly Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
God, the Coke and the gasoline.
Pepsi has so many products that they own that it's honestly untouchable with Coca-Cola.
And we have 1 minute left, so I would like to take time and let you both say a little something to the audience about your final statement. So Sam, would you like to go on?
Pepsi is just better. Their branding is better. Their color is better. Blue is way better than red. And that's that. It tastes better. It's people's choice. It's what they want. And Pepsi is ready to give it to them.
Carly?
That is just obviously, as we've seen here today, completely false. Coke is the elite choice. I mean, obviously, Pepsi is down bad if they have to make companies only have Pepsi, put out lots of money for that, so they have to get Pepsi because they know they want Coke first. Coke is the best. It's classic. The glass bottle, everyone loves it. Coke is the better option.
Thank you both for being here today, and thank you so much for tuning in. Coming up, I see student holding rotisserie chicken in their fridge. Is it true or not? Stay with us.
It's true.